Well, this should be fun. This should actually be fun. At least what they say. I'm Diane at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. I've been doing energy work for over 35 years. And it's dawned on me that a lot of people will hear me, they'll come in for sessions, but they don't realize that I'm channeling, that I'm reading energy, that I'm reading timelines, that I'm getting information brought down. And it's just so natural for me to be able to look at somebody and just know what's going on. I'm able to read a past life. I don't need cards, but I do have some cards. And some of it is just to entertain my clients while I'm working on them. So go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Let's talk about energy and how your energy is moving. And sometimes when you think about things that you may not be in this information, that your energy is in another time and space. And that's why it's so easy for me to be able to look at somebody and go, yeah, no, that's not your energy. That's from your mom's side. No, that's not your truth. I can understand why you want it to be, but it's this and this. So I do a lot of coaching, a lot of healing. And I have over 35 years, and I study all of this. That's what I love about me, is that I can never stop studying. I just love it so much. And today it's about teaching you, educating you that your energy can make or break you. That most of the time your energy is positive or negative. That you are moving forward well, or that you are holding yourself back. Because in every story that you've had in this lifetime, you're the common denominator. And one of my clients, she's never liked a boss or a coworker that she's ever had. And it's just like, you're the common denominator. You're the problem. You're the one that can't handle authority. And there's a moment in time where you want to heal this and not keep projecting your problems onto others, not taking responsibility that your energy will see them as the enemy, as the stupid one. And some of it is ego. But the majority of it, if I don't like people with short hair, then they could be quite lovely. But I will distort things about them so that my ego can be right. So I help people basically clean up their act and live a healthier life. And thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. And as I speak, as I talk, and as I explain a few things, I would really like for you to have water and to breathe, to become open, to become aware that you are in an earth body, but there's so much more about you. And once you start to develop yourself, and that's by taking responsibility of who you are, once you start to do this, then you can actually maneuver yourself into a future that you want and not just keep landing at places without putting a lot of work or thought or energy into it. So we have positive and negative, up and down, left and right, good and bad. So give me an idea of what some of you guys are working on. And again, I can throw cards, but a lot of times I just look at people and I just know. I can use my rods. You've probably seen these on TikTok, and they're fabulous. Do I live in California? Yes. Which means is that my energy knows that I live in California. So it's going to give me a positive, that I'm in alignment, I'm in agreement with it. Same with muscle testing. If you held some vitamins in your hand or medication, and you asked yourself, are these healthy for me? And you'll lean forward, which is a yes, or you'll lean back, which is a no. Your body knows, your energy knows. So I help people awaken their ability to trust themselves, know so much more about themselves, where you don't need to follow suit with everybody. I've never been a follower. I don't want to be a follower. But we all need a little bit of help and support. We don't want to live alone, but I don't want to just follow people blindly. We all have our own path to walk. We all have a life to pursue. And so if you're the type that has to fit in and be like everybody, look like everybody, and try to blend, then that's opposite of actually learning about who you are and what makes you unique. What makes you, you. And when you start to see yourself as important, isn't that interesting? Then you show up so much more important to yourself. I don't like yes people. I don't like over pleasers. It just feels like they're too sticky. So I'm reading some of the comments. I'm a energy healer life coach for over 35 years. I have over 20 certificates in different healing modalities. And again, I'm sure that you've seen these online. And what it is, they're copper. Copper is a conduit. And you ask it a question for somebody or for yourself. And why does it say yes? And why does it say no? How does it get its information? Because we already know. A lot of times in my coaching, one guy, he's pretty messed up. I didn't mess him up, but he's pretty messed up. And he said, well, everything that you said, I get it. I know. And I'm like, it's not about knowing, because you do know so much. You know that you need to get up earlier if you've been oversleeping. You know you need to save money if you've been spending too much. So it's not what the mind knows. It's that, are you in alignment with the energy that you're running? And for you to have control over yourself and not let other things control you. So right now it's Friday night, and a lot of people will go out and possibly drink too much, eat too much, stay up too late, do a whole Netflix thing, and know that they shouldn't, they don't want to, but it's a habit that they just do. And a habit is an energy that's already made up its mind, and you're not aware that it is dictating what you do. And I'm eating too much before bed every night, not just Friday. Okay, it's a habit. You know more, you know better, but you're just in this automatic. It's like putting a car in drive. It's automatically going to go forward, whether it should or shouldn't. Put it in reverse, it's automatically going to go into reverse, whether it should or it should not. So for you, here comes evening. I'm going to overeat. Your words, not mine. So you're in those moments living without thought. You're on overdrive, and you're not able to. You can learn this, of course. You're not able to take charge, take control, and our phones, our society, our life, our world wants us to live dead and dumb. So let's get off our phones more. Let's pick up a book and read it. Let's have human to human conversations. Now, my clients know that if you need to change an appointment, okay, call me. If you have a question, okay, call me. And how many times do they text or email when they know I want them to call me? Because a lot of times I won't answer a text or an email for a while because I want them to call me. And of course, if I can't answer, I'll call them back, or we can do it in a different way. But what I'm trying to do is keep human to human alive. And I'm noticing that couples are texting more and more compared to talking more and more. Now, how can a relationship build, grow, stay connected if they are texting each other, and then when they're together, it's very little conversations? Texting is, especially in a relationship, and I'm a relationship coach, the worst style of communication you can come up with, because it's black and white. You don't hear the sound, the tone. It's a little bit more kind of cut and dry. Does it serve a purpose at times? Absolutely. But is it something that is going to build? No, not as much as picking up that damn phone and calling. Or how about this one? This is a little freaky. Keeping the conversation in your head until you guys are in the same room. Oh, I text you about this, I text you about that. So when it's all said and done, I want people to show up in human form. Now, all my sessions are on Zoom, but it is real time. You'll see me and I'll see you. But ask yourself, if you're a texter, if you have to email, why? Why do you do that well before you pick up a phone? Because if I wanted to see if Macy's had a pair of shoes that I wanted, I'm not going to text them. If I wanted to find out when Safeway closes tonight, I'm not going to text a business. Now, I run a business. And there's so many times where crazy new clients will text me. Do you offer consultations, or can I set up a appointment? They'll way before they even think to call. And so many times I will say, thank you. I enjoyed hearing your voice. I enjoyed the human to human connection. Because again, if you need to change your appointment time, okay, let's do it. A phone call, we can do that in about 90 seconds. A text back and forth can be a couple days, and I'm not going to waste time in low vibrational style of communication. Just not going to. So I would like for all of you to raise up your standard when it comes to communicating. Call people. Go out and see them and put your phones away. And start living, because this is going to raise your vibrations. There's too many people that are isolated. And trust me on this one. I know this like I know my name. People are having more and more and more harder times being out around people than ever before. And when we start to lose human to human connections, we're losing so much of our social that no wonder most people don't care about anybody else, that they only care about themselves. And if you want to be happy in this lifetime, it's serving others. It's helping other people. That simple, that black and white. It's helping other people. Two things. I was walking in a neighborhood, and I always look around. I'm looking for things, noticing things, eye-to-eye contact with people. And there was a young lady. She was Sikh. She had the head wrap. And she was walking head down. And she kind of half looked up at me. She probably noticed I was looking at her. And I said, hi, how are you doing? It's such a beautiful day out. And she looked up and she's like, oh, yes, it is. Hi, thank you. She was shocked that some white chick or human or American acknowledged her. And I'm like, oh, I was so blessed to have had a moment with her. I just had a moment with her. And those are rich, rich moments that we need as humans to connect to other humans so that we have friendships, community, that we remember to care for others. You can look at all of the hoopla on TikTok and all that, how they want to be influencers and how they think they're all that and so incredibly important. They don't understand how to serve. They're just wanting. They don't know how to give. And I'm thinking that isn't what we're here for. We're here to understand how to help people, how to make people feel good, how to be of service. It's a lost art. I'm trying to bring it back. So again, take a few deep breaths. How do you show up in public? Is your head down? I just had a session with a client of mine, and she got too reserved in her personal world. She had her groceries delivered. She went through the drive-through at Starbucks. She had a lot of her meals, I don't even know what it's called, delivered. Now I, in 8 years, have not had groceries delivered or a meal delivered. I go out, or I cook myself. I go into the grocery store. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, thank you. Oh, can I help you? There's an older lady with a cane, my height. She couldn't reach a jar up on top. And again, I'm the same height, but I thought to myself, I've got to reach this for her. And I'm a little bit more limber. I was able to reach a little bit more to get it. And I was so thankful that I was there for her. It gives me a good feeling when I'm there for somebody. And that's really kind of what's messing up our society. And if you're having a hard time and you're starting to be self-isolated, you need to get out more and reach out. We can shift the fear of being around people. Came with a lot of the hoopla. And so you can get out there and you can actually live, because my client now, she has a full active life. She's been wanting to date, but I'm like, you don't have a damn story outside of I drive to work, I drive home. What guy is going to find that stimulating on a Friday night? So now she's out and doing things. We're not here to just work. We're here to be seen. We're here to blend, to be around other humans. That helps our energy expand out. So a few questions for you guys to think about. Do you have a hard time speaking to people that you don't know? Not necessarily strangers, but people that you don't know. Can you stand and talk to somebody at a Starbucks line while you're waiting to order, or you're waiting to receive your order? Can you make a good conversation? I can't, of course. Duh. Do you make contact with the person at the grocery store that is working that line? That's a perfect time to say hello to somebody and thank them. Do you even do that? And not like, oh, thanks, as you just walk away, but thank you, I really appreciate you working today. Do you know how to extend yourself? And again, throw me out your ages, because I'm really finding from about 40 down in age that they just don't know how to have conversations. And conversations is a way of meeting people, of getting to know people. Highly important. At work, you could be the best of the best. You could be, if there's 5 of us working, you could be the top one. But if you don't have a lot of social skills, you kind of flatlined your career. And everything is energy. So if you are struggling in community at work with others, this is your struggle that you want to look into and heal what needs to be healed. Learn what you may not have learned in the younger ages of, hey, let's develop a personality. Let's develop your character. A lot of parents, they show up at home, but they're not fully showing up at home. They're in their phones. They're preoccupied with everything else. That even communication in family units at home have been almost choked out to nothing. Now, I have 2 adult daughters, and we talked every night at dinner. It was at the kitchen table. It was home cooked. They helped. We sat. We had conversations. I didn't just talk at my kids. We had conversations. So when they were 8, 10, 12 and up, I only have 2, but from the age of 8 up, they knew because they've experienced it so many times, what a conversation was for their age, and they could handle it and do it quite well. And there are college graduates that don't know how to have conversations. And so it's pretty important for you. Oh, there's someone from my far past talked to me as a friend energy, but also romantic feelings. He said he's my friend. Why is he talking to me? Oh, I don't really see it going anywhere. What's happening is that I think he found you on a little bit of boredom. You outgrew each other. And don't go back to your past, especially since even now there is not that great of a connection to even get warm about. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely yes. How exciting of a life do you have? Do you have a good social life? Do you have good energy? I met a faith healer, a psychic surgeon faith healer that has traveled the world. And he looked at me and he's like, oh, wow, your energy is so powerful. Could you assist me? And I'm like, absolutely. So what it is that I practice and work on my energy daily. If you want to be good in tennis, you pretty much practice quite often. If you want to practice being good at driving, you drive quite a bit. I just wish everybody knew that practicing your energy, paying attention to your energy is like number one to me. It's like, that's just what you do. You put clothes on your body and you pay attention to your energy. Not necessarily in that order. Because energy is everything. You know, I've been reading energy for over 35 years, and I can just say hello to it, look at it as a past life, what chakra needs to be fixed, where the blocks are up, and all that. So I know how to read. But also on a small level, you all know how to read too. You can know if somebody comes and sits by you, if it's going to be okay or not okay. If you're going to be like, uh-oh, this feels bad, I'm going to move over. It's like, oh, what a cool dude. So you know how to, your energy will shift and change on how people show up. And if somebody shows up angry, you can probably sense that even with their back to you. Somebody shows up just really, really a groovy person, you can sense that. So you know how to understand energy. I just don't know if you're working enough on your own energy to impress yourself and or others. Yeah, social life is everything. Without that, you're not building, you're not growing, you're not being fueled. You're not learning about yourself, because even a 4-year-old can teach us something. But we got to find a little 4-year-old to be around, and that could be in the grocery store, going out to dinner, meeting new people. It's nuggets of information. And in the dating world, you go out, hopefully you know if they're going to be, safe, but you don't know if he's going to be or she's going to be the one or not, but it is going to be a learning lesson. It's like, well, he didn't work out, so now I know what I don't want more of. And now I know what I want more of. So now I have more clarity. But if you just live in your head, that's a damn scary place to be. Because we can't trust the mind. And again, I do a lot of sessions on Zoom. I have people all over the United States and beyond. My website is Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. Go check it out. Free consultations. I have sessions and packages and all that good stuff. But now that you are more aware that you can sense energy, that energy is real. And if you're not taking care of your energy, it's fair to say it's going to be a little difficult for you to bring in new and good and better energy if you haven't upgraded your own energy. And if you're not upgrading, and as life goes and moves forward, if you're not upgrading, you are losing traction. You're not falling back per se, but the world is moving forward. And if you're stuck, you're not. It's almost like being stuck in the 70s and it's 2026. It's just like, oh, I get a little upset when I meet, especially women that say, oh, I just need to take a break. Well, we can't clock out in life and think life is going to pause for us. Life doesn't slow down. It actually feels like it, and it is speeding up. And oh, I'm going to take 6 months off. Oh, girl, no, you're not on my watch. You don't get that luxury. I'm going to start taking antidepressants. Oh, no, you're not on my watch. You're going to learn your lesson. Because each time that you take medication or you have to take 6 months off or take a break, you take your uniform off, you get off the court, you don't sit on the bench, but you sit in the balcony. And everybody else kept going. And then I will guarantee you this, and I'll throw down a really good bet on this. What happens is that the next time something doesn't work out all that well, you're going to want to take another break. You're going to want to stop the game again. And that becomes your automatic. One person I know, she got divorced. Okay, what's your point? I'm going to take 6 months off. She blew her money, got into a stupid ass relationship, looked up, lost quite a few years, and was pretty much penniless. 50-something, 5 adult children, living in a bedroom in somebody's home. And I'll tell you one thing, had I known and had been working on her when she got her divorce, which is fine, you don't get no breaks. You don't get to do a 6-month vacation or rest or hide for 6 months and think that you can show up ready to go. Even people that are in the Olympics or people that have won the big football game, they get back to the gym. They get up and going. So if you're not hearing much, you got to get up and going. A little bit faster than what you have been. Because your life is centered on your energy. Negative will find negative. Positive will find positive. You're in the center. When you live a healthier life, you won't age so fast. More opportunities will show up. You'll have more energy to fight the battles that will show up. But if you're kind of giving up, You've not positioned yourself for life to show up again. And I've been kicked down. The devil has shown up, of course. But because I've been doing this so long, I have a tool belt that has a lot of different tools that I teach people so that they can stand up, get up much quicker, much faster, dust themselves off, spit a little blood if you got it, and go one step forward. And that's what we want to do, is we want to go one step forward. Always one step forward. We definitely don't want to go backwards. We want to learn to go one step forward. Is it difficult? Learning to tie your shoes was difficult, but now it's easy. Learning the ABCs, it was difficult, but now it is easy. So it's not difficult, it's not hard. You just haven't put enough effort into it to make it easy yet. It's really what's happening. My website is Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. My sessions are all virtual, all on Zoom. And once you finally say, okay, Diane, you may be onto something. I'm Diane. And I may not be taking care of myself well enough to get myself where I want to go. So where do I start? Well, if you don't have a dream and you don't have a direction, a map, a roadmap, then let's work on that. For the love of God, what do you want? And some people say, I just want to be happy. What belief system, spiritual, religious, God, gods, the advanced spirits, how do they see that? What is that? What does that make sense to them? That she just wants to be happy. He just wants to be happy. No, it's not enough information. I've said this with my sessions. If you and I were out for dinner and a waiter showed up and he's like, oh, what would you like? I'm not going to look at him and say, oh, dinner. Idiot. Yeah, I want dinner. It's dinner time. And think that I gave him or her enough information. So I help you create maybe a master plan. Help you with some guidelines. Help you believe in yourself. And yes, your past will keep you behind until you resolve it. Look at it. Today, in one of my sessions, I pulled 3 cards for her. And I have 3 decks right now that I have out. 1, 2, 4. And so I pulled 3 cards. And when you do 3, the first one is the past, second one is present, and the third one is the future. And sometimes I will pull a 4th card just for clarity if that feels right. So right now, 1 card is just pulling my attention. So I'm going to pull it out to be naive. And so in the cards, and I believe you know a lot about cards, but this one came upside down. If it showed up the other way, it'd be innocence. But it's showing that that person is naive. And maybe what I'm talking about, a lot of people don't really want to know that it's their job to take care of themselves. Well, when you were 4, it was your mom and dad's. When you were 5 and 6, you even had some teachers. Maybe in a few babysitters, but really after the age of about 14, you take it on yourself. So we don't want to play the naive. Oh, I didn't know. That doesn't fly well with me. You know now. And so now what are you going to do about it? You know now. So now what are you going to do about it? Hey, Lavina. There's a point in time where you start to look at yourself and do right by your own story. Don't saddle up to everybody else. Get some solid feet underneath you, your feet, nobody else's. And what do you want? And in my coaching, it's taking some people that just don't know, or when they wrote up these stories, they didn't have any groundedness attached to it. One person, not my client, I would have said no to her. She was in a mastermind class, and or some class, and she was being evicted out of a bedroom that she rented out of somebody's home. She couldn't even afford to rent a room in somebody's home. And I'm like, okay, you got to get up on that pony, and she's like, oh, I'm not even worried about it. She's like, next year I'm going to make $3 million. Now, if I had a normal Mustang car, Ford Mustang, and I wanted to go 120, I'd probably have to upgrade the engine and upgrade the fuel, possibly even upgrade the oil for it to go that fast and to be healthy going that fast, and maybe even the tires. But this woman, who was pretty much failing in all areas of her life, didn't have an idea of how to advance herself so that she could get that high. So it's a false illusion when people say things like that. It's a false illusion. And I will be like, yeah, no, that ain't going to happen. Is it possible? Absolutely. But a low vibrational, non-grounded person that just spits out things like that can't see that in their future. It's too distant. It's too far. So when it comes to coaching, it's just like, what can you do to, and I want a solid dream. So to triple your income, oh, that's easy. To triple your income, that's easy. We can do that in 6 months, 9 months. To go from nothing to 3 million, that is a stretch when a low vibrational person says it. Now, if a multimillionaire said that and said, I just got rid of all my money, but that is wired for that, then I would bet on him or her every day. So we got to raise your vibration, raise your havingness level, and get you connected of where you are to where you want to go. It's called road mapping. And then to look at the insecurities that show up and think, it's like shooting holes in your tire, wondering why you can't go fast. I do a lot of timeline work. So cleaning up the past, sometimes even past lives, sometimes even entities. But is this kind of making sense that, and please follow, please like the hearts, all that good stuff. And comment, I love that. Does it make sense that if you want more, you got to have a good story about it? Put some thought into it? Kind of figure it out? And be clear with what you are ordering, what you're wanting, what you're desiring. And so many people, they just don't know what to say, what to do, what to ask for. And then they wonder why they're not getting anything more, anything better. Because if you don't know, then you can't plan for anything. Let's just say I'm going to go on a picnic tomorrow. It's like, okay. So I would know what to pack, what to buy, what to go get, and so I could be successful. So if you don't have a direction that you're going, then you're not going anywhere. Oh, and thanks for the hearts. I'll say that again. If you don't have a story or an idea, a clear story and idea of what you want, you're not going to get there. Why? Because you won't even know if you're there. You won't even know if you can achieve it. A person that is on a full baseball game, they knew it. They could taste it. They could feel it. They saw the jersey. They were on that field. They knew it like they knew their name. And that gave them the energy, the mindset to drive themselves there. So, and you don't have to, be successful. I mean, it feels better. But there's a lot of times you're not going to be able to do it on your own unless you teach yourself. And that may take quite a while. And it's okay. Most successful people have a coach, have a mentor, have a spiritual advisor that will help them clear out the space so that they have the extra energy to go in and do it. One of my clients, she's manifesting something right now. She's like, it's just right here. It's just right around the corner. And I'm like, I know it is. It took her a while to actually be able to receive this gift. And if it's about dating, so many times my clients will say, oh, I want him to be successful, good looking, and on and on and on. And I'm like, okay, are you all that? And they're like, oh. And with that grade of a partner, pick you? Or do you have some work to do? So think about it. What you want, you can have, but it's not good enough, but are you advanced enough? Have you done the work? Have you cleaned your energy up enough? Have you gotten rid of the poor stories so that you can go toe to toe with a really, really solid, groovy person and be that he or she would be looking for? I know one person that wanted somebody incredibly successful. She wasn't. So it's just kind of like, and I'm not wanting her to fully judge where her success is, but does she have the success mindset? Is she doing the best that she can? Even if she's working at Target, are you a top employee? Somebody that is financially sound. And it's not necessarily how much he or she or they are making, but are you solid with what you're making, and are you really being good with that amount? So whatever you have, are you successful with what you have? And if you have children, are you really a good parent? And a good parent, trust me on this one, I know a lot. It's not about being super duper sweet and nice. It's about being consistent. It's about structure. It's about how you show up in the presence of your child. Because trust me, you're not a child's babysitter. You are a parent with full-blown responsibilities of how that child is being developed mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I've been places where it's been incredibly loud. I went to a rodeo in San Francisco, and somebody had like a little 4 or 5 week old baby there, and it's loud and it's noisy and it's hectic in energy. Not a healthy place for a baby that is unsafe in the nervous system to be surrounded around that kind of energy. Trust me, I know this. My daughters are adult women, and they're the coolest people that I know. And I want you to be able to say that about your kids, that your kids are the coolest people that you know. And they don't need a mommy. They're 36 and 39 years old. They need a head counsel. And that's what I am when they want and need ideas. I've never been their friend. I am their mom. I am high counsel. It's a respect thing. It's like being in the army. You can relax with your colonel. You don't have to have your uniform on. But if that one over there is the colonel, you're going to behave well. And you're going to address that person well, whether he or she is in or not in the role. And that's how I see, because I can have amazing fun with my daughters. But I am high counsel. I am the mom that doesn't get any higher than me. And I take a lot of pride in that. So when you start to realize little things like this, and you start to parent from high counsel, from importance, it's 100% okay to say no when you need to say no and lay down the law. And I don't see a lot of parents parenting anymore. They're on their phones. If they're single, they're dating too much. So with that said, thank you. I'm glad you needed to hear that and that you heard that. Yeah. Ask me anything about energy. I've been an energy healer for over 35 years. I've been able to channel, read energy since I was 15, and I am over 60. So I've got some years under this belt. So ask away. Can you get better? Absolutely. Is it going to take effort? Every day is about putting effort into yourself for yourself. Is it selfish? Then call me selfish. I don't care. I teach meditation on Wednesday nights, 7 to 8:30 California time. And one time years back, I said, okay, somebody tell me I'm selfish. And they're like, they're all looking down. I said, come on, tell me I'm selfish. Oh, yeah, no. Finally, I looked at one guy. I said, Alan, tell me I'm selfish. And he's like, Diane, you're selfish. It was so hard for him to say that. And I'm like, damn straight I am. Of course I am. Because I need me to take care of myself, to get myself places, to grow, to advance. Do I have to push an old lady out of my way? No. Do I have to honk on the freeway to get people out of my way? No. But I want to get myself somewhere. And I'm dedicated to take care of Diane. And so, yeah, sometimes I have to be selfish. Yeah. And sometimes I can be a hot mess. We're all human. But I want more for Diane. I want more for myself. And that may be, for some people, look a little selfish. And I am 100% fine with that. 100%, because I also give. I also take care of others. So take a couple deep breaths. Who's around you? I don't know what you mean by that as far as spirits. So thank you guys for showing up. Please subscribe. Please comment. Love the hearts, of course. And I love that you follow and or subscribe, whichever way you're watching me right now. And that helps me continue to show up. Oh, and my book is out. I'll try to put the link in, but it's on Amazon. And if you put in Healing Bodies, Healing Souls on Amazon, it'll come up, or my name, it will come up. But I'm very proud of myself for writing a book. And so we have our chakras, we have our aura, we have our energy. You do know right and wrong. It's just most of the time you don't want to listen to that. That could be ego. And also, this is interesting. You do know right from wrong, and if you should do this or not do this. And you'll have like a little bit of a war going on. Should I buy this car? Should I not buy the car? The ego wants the car. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But also what's happening on the energy level is that you are listening to other people's opinions that drowns out your own opinion. And once you start to clear out other people's energy from your space, then you'll actually hear your own truth, be able to act for your own self. And that in itself is always right, always correct. Does that make sense to some people? That I don't want you, typical. I have a lot of tattoos. And one male friend of mine, so many people are damn weak. He's like, oh, I'd get a tattoo. But my dad would roll over in his grave if I got a tattoo. Well, you know me. So what you just said to me is that you would get a tattoo, but you can't get a tattoo because your dead dad would disapprove. Am I hearing that right? Oops, I gotta. That you're hiding in life behind a dead man? Or is it because you just can't make your own decision, or you really won't do it, but you're giving me a damn good excuse? Because I'm not going to buy it. Now, did my parents like my tattoos? No. Did I ask them for permission? Absolutely not. I was a grown-ass adult woman. I don't ask for permission. Now, if you live a life where you have to ask for permission and you're in an adult body, I'm going to ask you, even though you're an adult body, what is your mental game? Are you still here trying to make people proud of you or prove to them? Because that's going to weaken your adult game. Everything is energy. And I want you to make a solid decision based on your own decision. Now, I've been doing this for over 35 years, and all my sessions are on Zoom. I don't ask people for permission. I don't even ask a lot of people for their suggestions or their ideas. I will ask a master, an expert, or somebody that's very knowledgeable in this area. But am I just going to ask anybody? I'm not going to ask my neighbor if I should get my hair trimmed or cut. She's not a hairstylist. I'm not going to ask a friend of mine that doesn't drive a truck what truck I should buy. But if I want to buy a truck, and a friend of mine is knowledgeable in trucks, I'm going to set it up right. What kind of truck would you suggest that I buy for myself? And this is what I need. And then he'll be able to look and think, well, it wouldn't be the truck I'd buy myself, but I would recommend you buying this or this kind of truck. Then I would listen to somebody because I set it up well. Everybody wants to give you advice, and I slam that pretty quick and pretty fast. You don't want a lot of people's advice. You want to go in here in your own noggin, ask yourself, clear out your mind, clear out the energy, and start making your own damn decisions. That's exactly what you want to do. You don't want to do a lot of lifeline calls. You don't want to Google it, and don't even get me on the chat. I use it, but very little. I want human connections. I want to be around people. And people, I want to be around me. I want to listen to me and figure out what I want, not what a damn computer is going to tell me that I want or need. I want to experience life. I'm going to go out and figure it out and try it out. Am I always going to be right? Yeah, probably not. Am I going to be real close to being right a lot? Yeah. And if I'm a little off the next time, I'm going to get better. And that is just growing yourself, your character, your personality. So take a couple deep breaths. What's coming your way? There's nothing coming your way. So again, the question that you're asking, it's kind of like, what's going to make me happy? And it's just like, tonight pizza. It's like, oh, no, I don't mean it that way. What's going to make me happy? Oh, cleaning up your bedroom. Yeah, no. So when you ask questions, get a little bit more specific. People don't just get better on their own. Well, they need to be around people. You're right. The chatting and the online stuff is just it's mind is social. It's going to a life coach. It's going to somebody like me so that they can unravel all of that extra energy off, and so that they can actually start to hear what they want and not do what they think they need to do to keep the family or people safe and happy and like them. There's too many people pleasers. I don't like people pleasers because then I'll never get to know them well. Oh, you want to go out to dinner? Okay. You want to go out for pizza? Okay. Alrighty. You want to go to a farmer's market tomorrow? Sure. Okay. What do you want to do? Oh, it doesn't matter. So in a month, she'll get to know, or he'll get to know me. But you see that I'm having to carry the relationship compared to, I had pizza for lunch. You want to go out for Italian? I said, yeah, that sounds good too. So it's back and forth. It's a yin and yang. It's really showing up. It's really just showing up. Not playing coy in the adult world is just not attractive. It's having your own mind and your own belief system and wanting what you want. It's being important and not just somebody that follows. Because then you just get lost in the masses. It's the sheep. that just follow. Sheep are actually quite stupid. I've worked sheep before. I'm a country girl. And they'll just follow. And they actually are quite stupid. Horses are not. Horses will, if you're rough with a horse, the horse will be rough with you. If you're kind to the horse will be kind to you. So you actually get to know yourself when you work horses. It's like, why isn't this horse paying attention to me? It's like, oh, I'm just being, my energy is off, and the horse is mimicking my energy. I'm being off. The horse is not understanding. It's off too. So you step down, step back, take a couple deep breaths, get grounded, and then go back to the horse. The horse will also be able to be grounded and be able to listen to the verbal and nonverbal commands. Same with children. And why are my significant other, my husband, my wife, and I, why are we arguing all the time? Why are we fighting all the time? It's like, Diane in the corner, can I answer? Because you're both in ego. You're not listening to each other. You're not trying to understand each other. You're trying to make your point at a cost that is lowering your significant other to lose. They're like, oh, yeah, I know. So I do a lot of relationship coaching, but so much of this is at the end of the night, when you lay your head down on the pillow. Are you proud of yourself for the day? Did you do a little bit more? Did you try a little harder? Did you talk to more people? Did you lend a hand? And if you can say yes to at least one of them, then you're going to start to sleep well. So many of my clients show up and they can't sleep well. They're living unfulfilled. Of course you can't sleep well. You're not showing up fully. Of course you're not going to be able to sleep well. And please, you don't need medication to sleep. You don't need melatonin or any of the other medications that the doctors want to give you. You just need a relaxed body that feels good after the end of a goddamn good day. And then you'll feel peace within. The nervous system will relax down and sleep will show up. And you actually enjoy going to bed. A lot of people's like, bedtime, damn it, I can't sleep, I always toss and turn. And you are, and I did this on my Instagram post, you are brainwashing yourself. Now the government is brainwashing us. And we know what that is. Eat all these bad foods, all the cheap protein drinks that you can buy that are supposed to be so good, the energy drinks. Oreos, of course, they're good, but they have zero nutrition in those. So it's just like eating plastic. But we're brainwashed that we want them. And I've never had an energy drink. It's so incredibly bad. And it is banned in Europe. A lot of our foods are banned in Europe, but we're brainwashed to want them. They know how to package them and make them look real pretty. So on this note, yes, we're being brainwashed. You are also brainwashing yourself. You are also brainwashing yourself. I know, some bitch, right? I'm brainwashing myself. When you say, oh, I can't sleep, that's a brainwash. I can't sleep. I never sleep. It always takes me forever. I hate going to bed. So do you see how that is programming and programming and programming your head, your mind, your body, so that when it is time to lay down, all of that information stops you from sleeping. And you're the one in charge of the story. You did it to yourself. Isn't that crazy when you think about it? Let me get some more light. So, yes, the government is brainwashing us. But a lot of humans are brainwashing themselves. And that we want to be more aware of. So, a lot of times in my sessions, I will correct language. I know I should. Yes, I know I should. Do you want to go to bed earlier? Yeah, I know I should. Well, should is shaming. I was a counselor over 35 years ago for the Rape Crisis Center, Bay Area Women Against Rape. The very first class, the very first night, within 5 minutes of starting, they said the word should needs to go. You don't say that. Because it is blaming, it is shaming. So when my clients, and I correct behavior, I correct language, I know I should eat better. It's like, I want to eat better. Okay, I'm going to choose to eat better. And then you're able to lean into a new story, or even an old story that is written better for you to lean into more. Because if your language is uncomfortable in your stories, you're actually going to lean back. You're not going to do what you're trying to get yourself to do because you worded it poorly. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? We want to watch our language. And you can say the F word, you can cuss, all of that, but it's those little words that disconnect you from the success. And as a life coach, energy healer, in sessions, we work on that. And then you start to develop a healthier, a more sound you, so that you can, I don't know, improve yourself. It's your job, nobody else's. And we all want compliments. At work, hey, great job. We want that. It's okay to want that. We also want it from ourselves. And I think people are so hungry to get other people's attention and approval that we forgot that we're looking for our own approval. That's why at the end of the night, when you lay your head on the pillow, if you actually feel proud of yourself for doing something more, something a little different, something a little bit better, that you hung in there just a smidge longer, and you could lay your head on that pillow and know and feel good about yourself, you'll sleep. Isn't that fascinating? So take a couple deep breaths. And just for a moment, because I brought up a lot of different things. I've been doing this for a long time. So just for a moment, ask yourself, am I going to change? And please follow, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I love the hearts. Just ask yourself right now, and please follow me. Am I going to change? Am I going to put some effort into it? You will or you won't. You 100% can, and you may not choose to. And it's all about you and your programs. One client about 5 weeks ago called me up sobbing. Well, she's not a client. She wanted a consultation. But she called up, and within a few minutes, she's sobbing on the phone. She's not a client yet. I don't even know her name. And she was doing a lot in her marriage, in her life. She was doing a whole heck of a lot that just wasn't working. But she wanted to blame him. She wanted to focus on him and what all he's doing. And I'll tell you one thing, rating him from 1 to 10, I'd probably say in a marriage, he could have been a 4, but she was a 3. So I'm bringing this up because she didn't want to take responsibility, which means I ain't going to change until he changes. And it's just like, just goodbye. Because there's a lot of people that just want to complain about the problem, and I don't complain about problems. I shift, change, rewrite so that the problem can go away. I don't want to hear people bitch, whine, moan, and complain and not be open to new ways of handling this thing called life. Been doing it too long. So I'd bet 10 grand that she's going to be this way for a while, and it ain't her fault, ain't her problem. And my client today, this evening, she said, this and this has been happening, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's my problem. And I'm like, and she looks at me, and I'm like, she's like, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. And I said, in your side of the equation, it is always your responsibility to understand why you are in this equation. What's your lesson? What experience do you need? What lesson are you looking for so that you can evolve? Is it your problem? We could say it that way. But you're in any equation that you're in it for a lesson. It's not like, whoops, my bad. She shouldn't have had to go through that. Whoops, sorry, dude. You're placed in the wrong place, wrong moment. No. Every moment that you've been in has been a way of you learning more about yourself so that you could move forward. Some of them have been good moments. Some of them not so good moments. And some of them can be really, really bad. And if you don't take the responsibility to figure out what your side of the equation is about, you'll repeat it. And then you'll repeat it again. And you'll repeat it again. Because it's showing up for you for a lesson. And you really want to start paying attention to how life is unfolding for you. Again, I've been doing this for well over 35 years. I can look at anybody and read them, and I can get all the information I need in less than 3 seconds. Look up and just start telling them what their story is. And your life is about you and how you are navigating you through life experiences. And so many of my clients, one kind of frustrated me, but he's like, everything you said, I know. And I'm like, of course you know. You know that your wife, deserves a better husband. And you don't show up that way. You know that you shouldn't verbally attack her when you're not feeling well. but you still do. So what you know, I don't care about. What I want to do is I want to show you and tell you and get you to understand why you have such poor behavior and why you think that you can use a wife as a verbal punching bag. And I'm going to make it so uncomfortable for you, but you ain't going to do it again, not on my watch. And after a few minutes of educating him, he's like, you know how to use the words, don't you, to just get it locked in? And I said, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Because I knew how to hit him in areas where he was going to have to feel it. Because people like that, they don't feel anymore. How can somebody be mean? Because they're so accustomed to being mean that they don't get it. And think about that for a moment. How can a mean person be so mean? Because they've been practicing being so mean that was nothing. How can somebody walk into a kitchen, a chef, a cook, walk into my kitchen and whip up a 5-star meal out of, I think I have nothing to eat? Because they practice it so long, they're damn good at it. So if you have practiced being mean for so long, you're damn good at it. And if you have practiced being so verbally abusive, you're really good at it. And you may not think that that was that bad, but it was. So something for you guys to think about. And again, I'll trace it back to childhood. I have had a nervous disorder since the age of 3. So I get it personally. I wanted to teach my daughters to be happy. So I dived into all of this over 35 years ago, and I haven't stopped learning. I'm actually reading 3 books right now. I have 2 more that I want to buy, but I'm like, nope, you got to finish at least 2 of the 3 so you can move on. But I love all this stuff. And why? Because it expands consciousness. It helps you understand why you do things. It makes you more aware. And if you're coming from pain, it's you got to heal the pain. If you're coming from anger, you got to heal the anger. If you're coming from being a mouse, you got to heal the mouse so that you can be this. And what is this for you right now is something that I will help you develop, because I don't want you to be a mini me Diane. Trust me, the world only needs one of me. The world only needs one of you. A healthier one, happier one that's got it going on more. We're here to be happy. We're here to enjoy this thing called life. We're here to evolve. Now, I know you understand what that word means, but the depth of that word. I want to keep dropping my past so I can move into a future that is being newly developed. How do I know myself? It's from my past. And how many times do I think I know myself, but that image, that picture may be so outdated that it's not really who I am today. And I'm an ex-massage therapist, and I was going out with some girlfriends, just pulled into the driveway. My friend called me. He says, Dee, I'm hurt bad. I'm like, what happened? He said, I went and I played softball like I was 18, and he was probably 40 with a bad back. He says, I can't walk. And I'm like, damn you, I'll see you at my house in 15. So I just went home. And the story is that he, in a 40-year-old body, with not a healthy back, went and played softball, no money attached to it, like he was 18, because he remembered that when he was 18, he played really, really good and it was limitless. So those are what I'm talking about when we know who our past is that may not have a lot of information about today. I just want to know who I am today and how I can get better tomorrow from today. I'm not 18. I'm not even 34. Not 44. I'm not even 54. So I can't act like I acted, be who I was when I was 54. That is too long ago. But who am I today? I got to like myself. And I got to do the best that I can with who I am today. And I can get better if I want to. And if you want to, you can get better. But he was hurting bad. And as a healer, and as a massage therapist, but as a healer, I worked on his body for over 2 hours. And there's multiple times where he would say, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And I would look at him and say, Michael, love and hate is so close that I'm okay with this right now. And I'd find another spot and another spot. He was so wiped out after the 2.5 hour massage that he said he hardly was able to drive home, which was less than 10 minutes. He said he got out of his truck. I did a lot of energy work. He threw up in the bushes 3 times, found his bed, laid down, collapsed, woke up the next morning 100% healthy. I got rid of stories and energy and blocked information for those 2.5 hours. He said, I woke up as a new man. So what I'm telling you is that so much is trapped in the body. He got bit by a shark when he was like 10. And he had 10% feeling in his foot. And I'm like, okay. When he got up and stood, he said he had 80% feeling there. Now it is scar tissue, but it is also trauma. Trauma is stuck in the body. It gets stuck in the tissues. I didn't match. I didn't see the trauma. I just had it leave. I didn't match it. And he had from 10%, and he was again 40. It happened when I think he was like 11 or 12. But trauma is stored in the body. Everything is stored in the body. So if we start working together, I want to look at areas where you have stored the trauma, knowing or unknowing. And getting you first to realize that you don't need that. For it to be able to go away and for the story to be done. Because a lot of people will hold on to a story. There's a secondary benefit to holding on to stories. So there's a lot of interesting things that I do in a session. Going into the earth body energetically. That's why I can read people up and down. Questioning your belief systems to see if they have anything to do with present time. Interesting story. Years ago, a friend of mine, she came into a meditation class. So I'm looking at her differently. And I'm like, oh, you have 2 baby beings attached to you. She didn't have children. I knew this. And she just like freaked out. I said, have you had any abortions. And she said, I've had 2 tubal pregnancies where they had to abort. That's why I had that word. And I said, okay. Well, the baby beings, spirits without bodies, looking for a baby to be born, I said they weren't evolved well enough. The body didn't go through enough, and they hung out with you. And she's like totally freaking out on me. And she's like, is that why I still, after 25 years, still feel pregnant? I said, yes, and that's why you still have a stomach. She went home and her husband, like, triple freaked out. But I got rid of the baby beans, and that story was gone. So yeah, all of this is just crazy good. Fascinating what you'll learn about yourself energetically. Go ahead and look for me on my website, Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. Follow me. Like, hearts, all that groovy stuff. I have a book, Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. Where is my book? Awakening the energy that changes everything. Awakening the energy that changes everything. It is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. This will help you understand a lot of what I talk about in energy. Because again, everything is energy. And I don't need you to be in the room for me to be able to read you, for me to be able to understand your stories and what's going on in life. And I will help you, of course. I will help you learn to ask the right style of questioning to get the right answer. A lot of people are just not asking the right questions. How long have you been taking advantage of gullible and desperate people? You see, it's just so sad that people like this show up. I don't know if they're called trolls or they're just uninvolved people, but it's just kind of sad. I've been doing energy work for well over 35 years. I'm excellent at what I do. My website is healingbodieshealingsouls.com. And YouTube, if you're not watching me on YouTube right now, Instagram and TikTok. So please follow me. If you're looking for an intuitive coach, a spiritual advisor, a life coach, well, I've got a lot of years underneath my belt and I can inspire you. And the best part is I want to help you and teach you to inspire yourself so you can move on, move forward, bigger and brighter. That's really what it is to figure out what you want and go for it. To enjoy this thing called life. And when you understand where you want to go, your clarity will be stronger. Your ability to navigate forward is going to be more successful. And that's really what you're wanting in life. Let me see if I can. And please follow, like, all that good stuff. And when I get really weird people, let me just block. There we go. We have pluses and minuses of people. We have positive and negative. And we have low vibration people. Get this back going. And yeah, in all areas of life. We don't need them to lower our vibration. We just want to stay disconnected. We want to move on, move forward. And that can get pretty simple and pretty easy to do when you don't engage. So, with that said, let's play with these cards. I haven't played with these cards in a while. Just real quick. This is a tarot deck for abundance. I believe we're all looking for more abundance, more clarity in life. With everything that's going on in this world, it's nice to know that we as individuals can do more, can do better. We just may not know how, but we can learn. And that's why we have tomorrow. Each and every day, I want to become better and better each and every day. So, positive partnership. Now, this is a very beautiful card. Positive partnership. Success is a team effort, mutually beneficial. Partnership could help you in achieving your common goals. Together, you could create more than you would alone. So this is for people that think that they need to be alone, that they can do it all on their own. And it's just, I'm not saying that you can't, but it sure is nice to have somebody in your corner, somebody supporting you as you can support them, and then it's a win-win, it's a plus. So if this is ringing true to yourself and you want more abundance in your life, open up yourself to new, more, and different people, friendships, partners. They're going to bring in a new style, a new flavor that will promote a new idea, a new thought pattern that will get you to go further in life, quicker and faster. As I said at the very beginning, we've gotten so disconnected with people that we're doing too much on our own. We've missed the human to human connection. That's why I really want people to call each other more, to actually talk on the phone or go and see each other. We are we want community. Horses, dogs, they live in a herd. They need community to live. You don't necessarily see a one wild horse. They live in a herd so that they can survive, that they can live. And horses, did you know that a herd of horses will have the same heartbeat? And then if one horse gets triggered, then they all get triggered. That's a way of safetyness, survival. And so how your heart is beating, especially when you go home to your children, will affect your children. It will affect your family, your friends. I'm going to sneeze. And so when you find people, the herd, the tribe, and you have more of a community, you're going to have more safetyness. So don't try to do this thing called life alone. Learn to play with others well. Learn to ask for help. And how to ask for help is to offer something and then ask. At any altar, when you go to an altar, you give first. Here's my crystal, here's my candle, here's my flower. And then you set yourself up, may I have this blessing, may I have this healing. So if I called my friend and said, hey, can you help me spray weeds in my yard? I can come, I can help you spray your weeds right after. Or can I take you out to lunch next week? And would you have any time to help me spray the weeds in my yard? I need to be dropped off at the airport next week, such and such day. If you're available, can I take you out to lunch first? And then you could drop me off. So I'm never just asking for something without offering something at the same time. When you start to do that, you're going to learn to give, and that's beautiful. You're going to learn to receive, and that's beautiful. I find so many of my clients that want, which is fine, they just don't know how to ask or to receive. How can you want something, need help, and when it shows up, like, oh no, I can't take your help. I know a lot of people that are that way, and it could have been because of the plague, the virus, the whole big thing. It could be just slow or low insecurities. It could be a whole hell lot of things. Can we fix that? Absolutely. Just give me a call, give me a holler. But you got to fix it. We're not here to live alone or be alone in a crowd. And some of my sessions, I will look at the chakras, the aura, the energy. I want to ask a couple questions about where you want me to dive into. And a lot of times I will play with some of the cards to give you a little bit more depth. Sometimes I will do some NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to shift some patterns out. Sometimes without even knowing, everything is recorded. You get the recording. I will, without you even knowing, take you into a quick hypnotic suggested state, shift that pattern, bring you up, and you won't hardly even know what happened, but you know something good happened. And then when you watch your session again, it's just like, oh, then there's just more fuel. These sessions are different. And what happens is that it's kind of like a mystery movie that you've never seen before, has a really interesting twist. And then when you watch it again, it's just like, oh, then it gets even more exciting. And then you watch it again, it even gets deeper. You'll just understand it even more. So all my sessions are on Zoom, all of them video recorded and sent to you. So you can experience it again and again, and even get more shifting, more vibration. Website, Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, because we want to bring them both up at the same time. Looking at the 7 major chakras, energy centers. Looking at past life information. Looking for entities, which can be quite fun too. Tarot cards, copper rods. It kind of all depends. Every client and every client session is different than the past ones. I don't want to have my hands tied behind my back. I just want to look and just for that hour and a half, just explore your consciousness and get you to understand the depth of who you are. And you are amazing. Maybe a little too closed off. Maybe scared. Maybe a little wounded, licking your wounds. But you are amazing. And I get all of the wounds. I get all of the scars. I've had them all. We're not going to be able to get rid of all of them, Some of them can be like our extra fuel that get us up and going. But I do want to help you get rid of the need to write too small of a story to fit in. And trust me, I know a lot about that one. So please follow, like, share, all that stuff. And of course, I love the hearts. And the more that I get to follow, the more I'll show up. It'll be just kind of a win-win. But I want to educate you that absolutely everything is energy. You are all about your story, your growth. You haven't learned, you haven't been educated about energy like I have. But once you start to click in and get and understand energy, you're going to be able to ride the tide and enjoy this thing called life so much more. So with that, please follow. Hearts, like, all that good stuff. If you're on my YouTube channel, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're on my TikTok, please follow all that stuff. And my website is Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. If you're interested in some sessions, just reach out. You're here listening for a reason. And can I help you? Absolutely. I'm not even worried about that part. The real question is, are you tired of who you have been? And are you ready to explore this thing called life and enjoy more? This is going to heal the earth body. So you have more energy, more life, more piss and vinegar, more get up and go, more life. It's going to help your mental game look higher, look for more, look for good. Jump in and dive in for the good stuff. It's going to help you release the past. Whether it's positive or negative, the past is the past. It is gone. You don't need it. And why do people, and this is frustrating for me on Facebook, why do people always post about their past? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 3 years ago, past and the past and the past and the past. I should stop following them. It's because their life right now sucks. They're not doing anything good right now. So the only good feeling they can give themselves is posting about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and they're living in the past. And that is no way you can create a good future. It's just not going to work. So F the past, screw the past. You don't need it anymore. What you need is your future self. And that's going to require a present time you to show up, to navigate yourself to a healthy future self. Because right now, your present self is probably not all that healthy, which means your future self is probably not all that healthy. So that's why you want to go into the past, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I remember, I miss those days. I don't miss any of those days. Why? Because I had a pretty damn good, today I have a really good weekend planned. I've got some great ideas coming. Mother's Day is going to be soon. I've got some great ideas for Mother's Day. And so I'm projecting good into my future. That is where I'm focused. Because that's where I have power and the ability to manifest, dream, create. The past, I can't. It has been written in stone per se. And it's like taking a dinner and regurgitating it, thinking you're going to enjoy it again. No. Enjoy it one time, swallow it down, and go again. So thank you, everybody. Any quick questions? I am Diane at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. Over 35 years of coaching, spiritual guidance, healing. I'm a Reiki Grand Master. I have over 20 certificates. in different healing modalities. But the best part of me is I can just look at you and start telling you about yourself and why you do the things that you do and how to take you out of the past and into present time so you can create a future. And a lot of people that are creating that are in the present time, trying to be in present, to create a future, they're playing small. Speaking of another story, damn it. 10 years ago, a lady came in. She was pushing 40, single, never married, wants to have a baby. And she says, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback. I need support and help getting pregnant as a single woman on my own. She's going to go through the doctors. And I said, okay, let's do it. And so her first session, I said, okay, let's do it. Let's set it all up. Everything will be fine. But real quick, do you want a husband? She's like, oh, yeah, I want a husband. But I just don't want to wait. And I've dated so many and nothing has worked out. And I said, well, let's get a husband. Also, we can still have this. But is it okay if I focus on a husband for you also? And she's like, oh, yeah. So I started asking her about her dating or cleaning up her energy. And I'm like, yeah, no, he's gone. Don't like him. He's a dead end. Oh, this guy, I like him, but he's too old. And you're tired of hanging out with these men where it's not going to go anywhere. If you want this, it's kind of like going away on weekends when I want to save my money for a car. I can't have both. So which one is going to be more important? And if I want a car, I'm not going to do the weekends. And I'm like, if you want a husband, you're not going to work and date these men that are not potentials. And I said, and you can ask this man, tell him your story and see what he says. But he's not going to want to be a part of this story. So she did. She went over to dinner, had a lovely dinner with him. And she says, I want to tell you what my story is. And he says, I am so happy for you. And I just want you to have everything that you want. He says, but my youngest son is in high school. I'm well past babies and infants. But I want you to get what you want. And so she realized, and within 6 months of working with me, she was in a full relationship and she's married. So that's why a lot of times that you may say, okay, I'm just going to write my stories that I want. But so many times, because of maybe disappointments, the way that you're raised, programmed, that you're not necessarily reaching up high enough. And I want to elicit what you want and maybe bring it up more and more, and maybe even a little bit more by checking in with you. And if she didn't say, yeah, I just don't want to focus on a husband, then I wouldn't have focused energetically on bringing in a husband. But she's like, no, it's really what I want. I'm like, well, okay. And she is incredibly happy as a married woman. So something for you guys to think about. I want to teach you guys to dream high. And that's getting rid of how you have been taught to dream. So follow, like, all that groovy stuff. And hopefully I will see you again. Healing Bodies, Healing Souls is my website. Please go and look at that. It will direct you over to a consultation, and or you'll be able to see some of my sessions, or just reach out to me. When you finally say, yes, I know I'm ready for more, that just opens up the gates in the energy world to go in and get good. And you may not know how to do it. If your transmission needs to be fixed, you may not know how to do it. If you need a new gutter system on your house, you may not know how to do it. To dream high, to be able to live in advanced energy, you may not know how to do it, but I do. So I'd love to talk to you, and thank you. Again, I'm Diane, Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, and I appreciate you hanging